The world admires the academic excellence of Japan, Singapore, and Taiwan, but this success relies heavily on unpaid extreme human labor. Taking a look at this bar chart, you can clearly see the standard 40-hour workweek limit severely dwarfed by the 55-plus hours Asian educators consistently put in. The sheer volume of hours is only a symptom of a much broader expectation called holistic education, an ideology that stretches an educator's responsibilities infinitely outward. Rather than focusing solely on academic instruction, educators are required to step in as psychological counselors, manage mandatory weekend sports clubs, and handle tedious government data entry. Society frames teaching as a selfless moral devotion. By viewing the job as a boundless duty to the student's entire well-being, the physical and psychological limits of the profession are completely erased. To address the exhaustion, Japan instituted a policy that labor experts now mock as an all-you-can-eat labor law. This salary breakdown illustrates the trap. A tiny 4% slice is overtime pay, shielding the government from a massive block of actual unpaid hours. This unpaid block is heavily weighted by tasks like supervising weekend clubs and drafting specific moral reports for every student. The government has debated raising that 4% stipend over a multi-year transition period, but financial adjustments do absolutely nothing to reduce the daily workload on the ground. Slapping a cheap monetary price on exhaustion fails to cure burnout. It traps educators in an endless, legally sanctioned cycle of exploitation. Over in Singapore, the approach is highly pragmatic. The government heavily pushes the integration of technology and artificial intelligence to slice through administrative bloat. They rolled out impressive digital upgrades, utilizing AI-assisted lesson planning, digitizing thousands of parental permission slips and health forms. Yet this dual-axis graph reveals the reality. Technology adoption rises sharply, but total weekly working hours remain frozen at 47. Looking closely, the administrative block shrinks, but new demands, like complex customized lesson plans and round-the-clock parent communications, instantly expand to fill the exact same space. This is the productivity paradox in modern education. Technological efficiency never actually lets teachers go home early, because the system treats any saved time as a vacuum begging for more work. Taiwan is facing a massive administrative flight, with highly experienced educators desperately fleeing from open school leadership roles. The exodus stems from a deeply flawed system that forces teaching professionals to act as unpaid accountants and bureaucrats for entirely different government ministries. In addition to grading papers, they are loaded down with non-teaching burdens like complex equipment procurement, facility safety audits, and duplicate student health surveys. Local governments try to stem the bleeding by offering minor cash bonuses, but a few extra dollars cannot fix the structural flaw of forcing one person to simultaneously execute two entirely distinct professions. Breaking this cycle requires abandoning limitless expectations and looking toward a proven alternative, like the United Kingdom's School Teachers' Pay and Conditions document. This diagram outlines their core mechanism, a negative list. Instead of telling educators what to do, a firm legal boundary explicitly blocks tasks they must never do. Tasks like formatting data, moving furniture, and collecting money are strictly banned from a teacher's desk. Establishing this legal firewall forces schools to hire specialized administrative staff, finally divorcing the act of teaching from the burden of bureaucracy. Alongside task limits, there has to be a legally enforced right to disconnect, shielding educators from digital demands and parental expectations during their off hours. Ultimately, it comes down to economic deterrence. Forcing governments to pay real, uncapped overtime makes it financially painful for them to waste an educator's time on pointless paperwork. To save the teaching profession, we have to stop treating educators like moral saints with infinite energy. By legally separating teaching from administration and enforcing strict overtime costs, we can ensure a sustainable future for our schools. If you found this breakdown insightful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives.